I absolutely love Miley Cyrus.
Give me some sugar.
Say hello.
I see you coming down the
What's
aisle.
up there, call boys?
Break me in the mouth. Yes.
You have Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Call Guys podcast. I'm Gunner, also known as Chico Noise, three-time podcast host, and alongside me, as always, it's Juan, fetal position 4-3. Everybody, welcome back to the Call Guys. This week, we're going to continue on our Rewatchable series, which we've done all of year 2. We did 5 parts, so we're going to continue it on 6 through 10 this year. Hope you guys enjoyed it last year. We've got a couple movies, and this movie that we're going to talk about tonight is a movie that was kind of a sleeper on me, and I'm going to give it the credit to Logan on this one for bringing it up because we both missed it in our buddy film list, and it should have been in our buddy film list, to be honest with you. So
Nick put it in his buddy list.
he did, and it should have been in ours, and I'm upset with myself for not mentioning it. So I'm excited to talk about it. Very, very excited. Very excited to be back recording on a Thursday, which isn't weird, but after recording on a Wednesday last week, it is kind of weird. Happy April Fool's Day, everybody. Listening to this on Monday, it is April 1st. Hope you had a good Easter. Colton, hope you had a good Easter, you know.
Went and saw the family, brother.
Future talk. But yeah, how's it going?
Future what? Oh, future talk.
Future
I'm
talk.
picking up. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Putting up what I'm picking
Picking
down.
up. Picking up. Picking up.
Putting up what I'm picking down.
You sure are taking it.
Yeah, buddy. Colton, how's your week going?
Man, it is a week. It's kind of dragging, but I'm working on another project for another buddy of mine.
Oh my gosh, you're always working on projects for
Dude,
buddies.
I'm telling you, man. I feel like the reason why I'm friends with half of my friends is because they need stuff from me.
To be fair with you, I was friends with you before I knew you worked in HVAC.
This is even an HVAC problem.
I know it's a plumbing problem, but still, you take care of that too. So, yes, he's talking about my issues. This guy, my issues. Also working on issues for our good friend Lil G Sumo Man at the same time. So,
Yeah, that
he's having
one.
fun. Colton's having fun.
Bree goes, why are you friends with all of them? Like they only seem to call when stuff's going wrong. And I'm like, that's not
BS.
true. That's not true.
We talk all the time.
So no. She does goes like, why don't they call somebody else? I was like, because I could save them money.
Might be a big part of the issue there.
Oh
But
man.
no, you do. You help us out a lot. That's it. I mean,
Yeah.
what being friends is all about, helping each other out.
Yeah.
I
You
mean, I
just wait till I call on mine.
Hey, I'm there. Let me know. I don't know what you're gonna need help with, but I'll help you.
Hey, if I just need you to hold the flashlight, brother, that's all I need.
And if it's like being in my basement, you're gonna need 15 flashlights.
Dude, I'm almost thinking we just knock out the rest of that night, putting in proper lights in that basement.
Oh yeah, we totally should. Just one big shop light in that basement.
Gosh, I can't stand your basement.
The problem is there's one plug-in, and you know what's plugged into it? The software and the RO. They're both plugged into that one plug-in.
Yeah. The one thing that I think would probably help the most if you just change the light bulb to like a bright white instead
that's
of that soft. I think that would help that room out immensely.
All right, I'll do that before you come over.
I'm bringing lights, man. I don't care what you say.
I have that shop light. We can find a way.
I have lights. I'm not concerned.
I have lights.
No, you don't.
I've been using a headlamp.
Yeah, you have.
It works. Keeps it bright, tight and bright. Good
So
to go.
I can see.
Yeah.
I can see.
Yeah. Well, you're taller. You can see everything. You don't need lights to see when you're tall.
That makes no sense for this.
No, it doesn't.
Gosh. I don't even know. Did we ask anything or were we just talking?
I said, "How's your week?" And you said
that's
it's good. It's dragging, but it's
yeah, it is dragging, but it's getting there. Like I said, probably had a good weekend with the family and Always nice to hang out with them and see them, and so always fun there. Always fun there.
Yeah,
What about you, man? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Not a whole lot's gone on this week. It's been kind of quiet. Been practicing some my short game in golf because golf season's coming. So getting warmer. I'm gonna be out golfing probably too much.
I
Um,
actually gave a stretching lesson to a customer today.
oh, a stretching lesson.
Yeah, I wanted to know how to get loose in golf. So I gave him some quick little stretching tips for his shoulders and his back. So
Interesting. A random. It's very random. Hey, I
oh
need to get
man.
loose. I'm getting tight on my backswing, man. I need to.
Well, the problem is that he's been a plumber for probably 30 plus years, and
Oh, just pull his pants up. That's all you gotta do. No, it's been a good week, man. I have nothing to complain about. I'm just ready for some warmer weather. I'm ready to.
oh yeah.
It's like I walk out in the backyard and I have parts of the yard that get like tall grass, and I'm like, I want to mow it so bad.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's getting close that time of the year where the mower gets out and everything smells like fresh cut grass. Been doing some stuff outside. Gonna build some new planter boxes. Put a table
Mm,
outside. Move the couch outside. Putting in an outdoor countertop outside.
very
Just some
nice.
random projects going on, and then working on this water issue with you. So
Yep.
it's getting close. So yeah, we're good.
It's all we can do.
Yeah, got another question for you.
What up,
It's
man?
actually a double question.
Oh,
What you watching?
okay.
What you listening to, Jake? Thank you.
Boo.
Boo.
Let's see. I am watching. I actually just finished season 2 of Bridgerton.
Oh snap!
Oh yeah, getting pumped for season 3. Big
Nice,
things coming there. Big things. So
huge.
pretty pumped about that. So now we got to figure out what to watch now. Allegedly I'm supposed to watch Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to get on that.
Yep.
Outside of that, I've been listening to let's see. I've been listening to some Yellow Card and some We the Kings and Knox. One of the fun little things we've started is after bath time, in order to keep Josie appealed and happy, I've been playing some music of the
Nice.
old punk rock days, and she loves it. And then William
Good.
gets out of the bath and he runs in and he's dancing and jumping all over the place. And it's a fun little family time that we get to have every two to three times a week, just depending on if both of us are home for bath night. Um,
Nice.
so yeah, man. What about you? What you watching? What you listening to?
Let's see. A couple things we've already talked about multiple times. The Rookie came back with episode 4 of season 6, so that was exciting. The Masked Singer, obviously, another one that we've been watching every week as it comes out. And then as we were getting finished with dinner, Sarah was writing me a note that says movies you've watched. So, Sarah, if you're
Oh,
listening to episode 106, I just want to say I'm reading your note on here and saying that I watched these two movies and she was mad because I hadn't mentioned them in the last two episodes. We watched Poor Things, which was one of the most odd movies I've ever watched in my life.
what was it?
Poor Things, Emma Stone, Willem Dafoe, set back in I don't even know what when it's set. It won a bunch of Oscars or whatever and
Oh, is that the thing on
Academy
Hulu?
Awards. Yeah, I think it's on Hulu.
Okay.
A lot of it's in
Yeah.
black and white. It switches to color a little bit later in the film. It's very very artsy. Um,
Um,
yeah, it's like a Willem Dafoe's like a Dr. Frankenstein kind of deal, and I don't know, spoiler warning, but I don't, you probably won't watch it, Colton, I'm sure, but do you want me to spoil it?
I mean, the wife wants to watch it,
Okay,
so
okay, I
I
won't
told her I'd
spoil it.
watch it.
Well, good luck.
Oh, great. Thanks for the
It will
confidence.
not be your kind of movie. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe you'll like I don't know. You might like it. The other
Great.
thing we watched was Damsel. Um
That's the one with Millie
Millie Bobby
Brown.
Brown. Yep.
Yeah, with yeah, my wife wants to watch it. I saw the trailer in it. I
Very,
don't
very good.
really.
Yes.
It doesn't
Very
look
good.
like my cup of tea.
Oh my gosh. I was overly surprised. My dad and mom watched it and said, "You guys need to watch that movie." So the night after they told us, we watched it. Action packed, great story, different, interesting. Um, kind of medieval times, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, sort of without the magic, um, dragons and all that stuff. It's really fun. It's fun. It's and she does a really good job. So I highly recommend it if anybody hasn't seen it. So go check it out. It has a twist to it that if you don't know the plot, you might be a little surprised. So fun, good movie. That's pretty much all I've been watching. But what
Okay.
I've been listening to, one of my favorite bands, one of my brother's favorite bands, listened to him a ton growing up, and for some reason on Monday I was riding to work and I was like, I want to listen to something that I haven't listened to in a while. Death Cab for Cutie. And I
Nice.
all week have been listening. And man, it's so relaxed, so laid back. Music's great. If you just want to chill and listen to some good music, Death Cab for Cutie. Of course. But yeah, that's what I've been watching, listening to. I don't know what we're gonna move on to after we get done with this new season of The Rookie, and we'll find something. I'm sure Sarah will be watching Bridgerton.
Yeah, part one comes out in May.
Oh, she'll be all over it.
Oh, I know.
Myself, I might watch one or two episodes, but she'll watch most of it without me, so that's okay. Because I haven't really seen any of the first two seasons.
There's time, brother. There is time to get on the wagon.
Uh, I got a lot of other stuff going on. Or not. I could watch it with her, but I don't, not really my kind of show. It's Colton kind of show. Colton's in love. Colton's in love.
Oh my gosh, that second season is just so dang good.
Colton's in love. One day he will get his Bridgerton episode that he's talked
I
about for two
will.
years.
I will get it.
You will. I promise. All right, you ready? Question of the pod.
Yeah, man, I am ready for question of the pod.
This question stems because on the 8th of April, there is an eclipse. And I just have a curious question for you.
Yeah.
Is there one thing in nature that fascinates you every time it happens or you see it? Like you're going on a hike or you're outside and you look up, and is there something that just like it happens and you have to watch it in nature? I can give you mine if you want to.
Great question. Great question, brother. Since you thought of this, I'm going to assume you have an answer
I
for it.
I do.
Let's hear it.
It's shooting stars. I
The death of a star is what gets you excited.
yes,
Death.
but man, when there's a meteor shower or whatever, like, and you have the opportunity to be in a really dark place to go out and just like lay down and look. The biggest thing was like at my parents when we were younger, like they're kind of out in the country outside of Warsaw's 20 minutes, 15 minutes away, and Green's such a small town that it's dark. So we'd go out and lay on the trampoline and look up, and like it doesn't even have to be during a meteor shower. If you're just looking at the sky for long enough, you'll see them. But last year we went out to Shades Park, and it's out in the middle of nowhere. and there's a big field out there where they do stargazing and stuff. And we went out really late at night and went out there and just stood and looked up, and I saw seven or eight. And it's just one of those things like you can just you're looking at nothing really and waiting for something to happen, and you might see it or you might not see it, but when it does happen, you're like, did you just get that excitement for that split second of seeing, there's one, you know? I love it. Love to
I
watch
like
a
that.
big,
I like
love to
that
watch a
answer.
big meteor shower one time somewhere really dark, like out in the desert, you know?
I like that answer.
Yeah. What you got?
Um, Mine's probably going to be about the most Midwestern thing ever. And
Midwest
that is probably being
corn.
outside and watching a
Oh
major
yeah.
storm go by. Um, if it's got like a tornado warning or something like that, you go outside because you can feel the weather change and you can see the sky moving around and stuff like that. And of course, we're Midwesterners,
It's
so
flat.
yeah, we can see for a while.
Dude, no, seriously, and you know this better than I mean, just as well as I do.
Hmm.
Living on Old 30,
Oh yeah.
if you walk out to Old 30 and you look down the road, you can see things coming from west to east, and
Oh yeah.
it just like crawls towards you. And it is
Yep.
one of the craziest things. And I just my parents having 5 acres, right? And you have the woods there, but if you'd walk to one end of the yard or the other, you could just see it all moving towards you. And there were multiple times where we had big storms coming where we just outside watching it happen.
Yep. But I think one thing that I would love to see would be the Northern Lights.
Oh yeah,
I would love to go and experience those because I think that would just be awesome to experience.
I agree. I love seeing pictures. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So let us know at the call guys podcast at gmail.com. What do you like to experience
With
for
nature.
this?
Yeah, I don't know how to phrase the question. I thought of it and I was like, how do you phrase this? Is there one thing in nature that fascinates you every time it happens? And I agree with all three of those things we mentioned. I mean, that's for sure. I mean, it's thunderstorms in the Midwest can get crazy and they're so fun to watch. Like
Oh
you
yeah.
said, when you feel it's a hot, humid, August day and you're standing outside and it just instantly drops to like 62 degrees and it was 85 or 90.
Yep.
And you're like, dang. And then you just get cold for a second and you're just watching these black clouds roll in, spin in the air. And yeah, you just brought back
It's
good
pretty cool.
memories. Yeah,
It's pretty cool.
it's
Oh yeah.
a great answer. Great answer, Colton. But yeah, like Colton said, we'd love to know. Callguyspodcast@gmail.com.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of the Call Guys Podcast at gmail.com, segues are cool. Um, we got some emails.
We sure do.
Three emails.
We sure do. This one is
I'm gonna
titled
let you
Back
read it.
from Hiatus. First things first, props to you guys. I have no clue how you guys can manage life with a new baby, jobs, and recording a pod on top of that. That is crazy. I feel like I don't even have time for them, but I have found a way to start listening again. I have been so busy with my newborn girl, my new puppy, new job that doesn't allow me to listen to music or pods. Ouch. And I have been traveling a lot, cosplaying as Art the Clown. I'm assuming Logan will know what that is.
Yeah, probably.
I have no clue. Um, but what did Matthew Lillard say? I always come back. Now that the baby is a little older, I can have a little bit of podcast time back. P.S. I still wear my Call Guys hoodie and I'm still waiting for that Waverly trip. As always, that is our man, our brother, ISO Cam.
Yeah, brother.
Back again. Yeah, man. It the best advice I can give you is also the worst advice because always when you're looking for advice, it's when things suck and are just nothing's working well, is it gets better. Give it time, it gets better.
Yes. And before you
Especially especially
Okay.
in that first year stage.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Well,
I'm glad.
I can't agree because I only know the first 5.5 months at this point, but
Yes, that's true. I mean, and she's been a great baby. I
yeah,
don't care what anybody says. This kid is. It's not fair. You need to have another one just to even it out.
maybe about 10 years. I want to say before you move on to the next email, we got this email from Cam and immediately screenshot it and sent it to Colton. And I think I said I might have teared up a little bit just because I was like, he's back. And then he
Oh
sent
yeah.
this.
Oh yeah. And he did send us a picture of his cosplay outfit. Yeah, man, it looks good. I'm not a I'm not a horror dude, so
Yeah.
you look good. You look good, brother. You look good. So and the Waverly trip, I just want you to know, Cam, I know that message is not for me, Emperor. So you better get
Oh,
on that.
you have to tag along.
I am not going.
You don't go to Louisville?
I do not want to. I'd go to Louisville. I'd be the guy. I'd drop you guys off. I'd go do Louisville things, and I'd come back to pick you up.
That's reasonable.
Yeah. No, I don't. I don't play. I don't do the games. I don't do that crap. Nope. Nope.
Okay. No,
Next
taken.
one. This question of the pod from ISO. He goes, easily I would choose Chinese food 100% from our last question of the pod. Um, Chinese food, you
Nice.
just really can't go wrong with it.
You
You
can't.
just can't.
Not at all.
Um, then he goes, I chose Iowa State for my natty. Whew, big reach. They got some tough teams coming up. So we'll see if they survive the weekend, ISO. And he goes, here's a pic of my little girl, Amara. I really hope I said that right.
You
I'm
did. Yeah,
terrible
that's
with
spot on.
okay. Okay, thank
Yep.
you. Phew. ISO Cam, if it's wrong, let me know. I'm sorry.
No, I think yours because Scott's daughter, her daughter's name is Amara, and it's spelled the same way. So
Okay. Okay, good. He goes, I hope y'all didn't think I just abandoned y'all with no return. ISO, that's not me. You're the co-host, Gunner. He thought it. He thought it. I said, Ben, ISO, he's busy. He's got a baby. He's got work. You know, life is
I was about to drive
life
down
is
to
happening.
Louisville. Like, are you just not listening, or what's going on here? I get it, man.
Okay,
I mean,
forget
okay, I
forget my
don't get it because I
forgive
haven't had a bad night's sleep yet.
forgive my co-host here, ISO, but one thing I do need to say is your daughter is adorable.
Oh my gosh, she's
He
adorable.
sent the world's cutest picture, and the bow is obviously bigger than her head
Yep,
and
yep,
probably her body in this at this time. But
yes,
just man, ISO, you make a good kid. I don't know if it's you or the missus, but yeah, you got a good kid there.
yeah. I showed the rocker chick the picture. And you know how she is around babies.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
She is
yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous. And then we got one more from
Uno mas.
ISOCAM titled, I wasn't going to spam with another email. Well, brother, we're here.
Yep, you did it.
But here we go. He says, but as I'm listening back, I hear a diss thrown at me about my Detroit Pistons breaking the loss record. It's not a diss if it's true, ISO. Just remember that. And all I have to say is that we are just tanking. Oh, you're tanking, all right. You have reached a new level of suck. Like you have taken a step ladder and climbed to the very top and somehow bounced another ladder on top of that to reach the level of suck that the Pistons are at right now. Ready for this next top five pick because, brother, you're getting one. And hot take that the Pistons are way better without Cade when Ivy is our leader. Cade plays too slow for our fast-paced offense, and we win more without Cade. I agree. I think Cunningham is okay, Gunner. Here we go. You just
Yeah,
you
let
go
me
for a
just
walk if
walk
you want.
away.
Yeah, Cade Cunningham ISO is just awful for your team. He's not a very I feel like he's not a very good leader, and you're absolutely right. His tempo and pace of game is not what Monty Williams is trying to implement with this young Pistons team of just moving and getting up and down the floor. Now, do I think Ivy is the guy? I don't know if Ivy's the guy. I like the Thompson kid a lot. Um, you're kind of losing pieces here and there because teams are buying players out. And I mean, if you nail this next top five pick in the next year's draft, I mean, you've got a shot to really be building a foundation. But yeah, I agree. You got to get rid of Cade for anything. You get a second round pick, take it. He is just not good for your Pistons. So I don't think that's quite a hot take. Then again, I'm not too big into the Pistons world right now. It's hard. It's hard being at the top because you always got to look down at people. So that's what we do in Boston.
The
Uh,
Celtics
win games. So
winning.
ISO, I think that's a good take. I don't think there's going to be too many people who will fight you on that Cade pick. So, and that,
Yeah,
folks,
I feel
is
that.
yeah. You don't know. Do you know
I feel
anybody I
that. I
just
feel
said?
that. I'm
Do you know
feeling it.
any of the names I just said?
Nope. Tell you the last
Gosh.
time I watched an NBA game. You're lucky I'm watching NCAA. I watch March Madness every year, but I don't
Yeah.
watch it as in depth as I watched it this year. So maybe it'll spark some college basketball love for me. Maybe. Probably not, but see what happens.
Well, if you ever want to watch some games, brother, I'm down.
You got it.
Basketball is my sport.
Oh, I know. I know.
That's what I can talk all day.
Basketball is my favorite sport. I
I
like the
like
way
the
they
way they
dribble up and down the court. Nice.
no
Yeah.
interruption for
Cam,
the game.
miss you, buddy. Glad you emailed us finally and we're able to go back and listen to some episodes. It seems like you listened to a lot if you were referencing quite a bit of things. So yeah, appreciate you coming back and listening and send us an email and we will, even if we don't come down for Waverly, we'd still like to come down and meet you sometime. So maybe we can make that happen one of these days. Cole and I just take a road trip down to Louisville and
Louisville,
Louisville,
Louisville.
Louisville and hang out. Also, I'd love to hear how you say Louisville.
That's how you say Louisville.
I
I got.
know. I don't know
That's
why
just.
people say Louisville or Louisville.
Well, there's an S there. This is an Illinois thing.
Mackinac. Oh, sorry, Arkansas.
I was getting ready to say Arkansas.
If you don't listen to United States Paranormal, go check it out. The last like 6 episodes.
Gosh. The Emperor cannot speak.
I mean, I don't. He did Google it, and Google said
I did.
Mackinac.
He
But
did say, you know,
being married to a Michigander, I know it's Mackinac. But all right,
that's too funny.
email us if you've listened and you just want to tell us your answers to our question of the pod, or you want to talk about some past episodes, or you want to talk about what we're talking about today. Just send us an email at thecallguyspodcast@gmail.com. Let us know what you think of us.
ISO, love you, brother.
That's right. All right, Colton, you ready for some film news?
Yeah, man. Let's get some news going on here. Let's go.
All right, here you go. Some
Okay, let's
some
hit it.
some interesting news to me. I can't. We're going back to. I can't remember if you've watched this show, The Bear.
No,
Okay, you did not watch The Bear. The
no
Chicago
time.
Bears fan did not watch The Bear, which is a Chicago beef company that makes good old Italian beefs.
That
Um,
has absolutely nothing to do with the Chicago Bears.
and they might talk about the Bears a couple times here and there, but so this I found this kind of cool.
Okay.
So this article is called "From the Beef to the Boss." Jeremy Allen White, who plays the main character in The Bear, might be stepping into the shoes of one of music's all-time greats. In recent years, the actor has received considerable acclaim for his central role in The Bear, following up with a wrestling hit, The Iron Claw, and a Calvin Klein campaign that sent the internet into a meltdown. And while The Bear is back in production on season 3 and season 4 too, reportedly shooting back to back, White may next be set to play none other than Bruce Springsteen. Reports indicate that White is in talks for the role in Deliver Me from Nowhere, a full on Bruce biopic, but a film, or not a full biopic, but a film specifically zoning on the creation of the 1982 album Nebraska, released as Springsteen's fame was rocketing, and landed between the smash double album The River and a hit packed behemoth Born in the USA. Nebraska was a total change of pace for the musician, a stripped down acoustic album recorded on 4-track, where the recordings intended as demos instead became the finished album. So, yeah, I just thought this was super interesting because this guy has blown up over the last couple of years because of The Bear. He did some stuff when he was a little bit younger, but like that show really took off for him. And then he did The Iron Claw, which I've heard is actually really good. So, Bruce Springsteen, just one of those American made musicians that just plays the songs that everybody loves, and I think it'd be really cool to see him play that role.
I think that sounds like a pretty good casting.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't know how much of a singer he is. I'm assuming he's a good singer after casting him for Springsteen, but
I mean, do you really need to be that good of a singer?
I mean, no. There's ways to fix voices in post, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. So I think it'll be okay. But I think you're right. I think that's probably going to be a pretty good casting.
Yeah, I saw it and I was like, oh, this would be really good for the news portion of the call guys because I love the bear. I think Jeremy Allen White does a really good job as an actor, and I need to watch more stuff with him in it to kind of get more of a feel for him. I've seen some clips of other things he's been in, but yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of biopics in the last couple of years, with Bohemian Rhapsody and
Elvis.
Elvis and Weird Al's Yankovic.
Well, you had Elton John.
Yep, yep. So I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be really cool. There you go. Film
Yeah,
news.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Film news. All right. So as I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, this is going to be part 6 of our rewatchable series. And this movie is thanks to Logan because he mentioned it in oh gosh, I don't know, a while back when he yelled at us for not having Without a Paddle on our buddy list. So,
I got something.
oh, you got something?
How about a message from our sponsor?
Looking to transform your family game nights? At Perfectly Picked Games, we specialize in family games that bring everyone closer. Our games aren't just fun. Kids and teens will learn how to take turns, develop basic strategy skills, and understand the thrill of winning and grace of losing. With our exclusive gift of games, you can give months of gaming excitement to your family. Choose a 3-month or 6-month gift, and we'll deliver hand-picked family games to your doorstep every month. And here's the best part. Right now, you can use the promo code GOLDENMOJO and receive 20% off your selected plan. Don't miss out on this exclusive offer. Use promo code GOLDENMOJO and save 20% today at Perfectly Picked Games.
My bad, Colton. My bad.
You
Thank
almost
you.
did it again.
Dude, like I said, I want to put it right in the middle, and I have a note that I moved.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Here
Jake,
we are.
Jake, we appreciate you and Perfectly Picked Games, and I will try to remember it. I'm just gonna have you say it from now on.
Oh, that's fine. I don't care. Just let me know.
Perfectly
Face it,
Picked
Flounder.
Games.
Face it,
Perfectly Picked
Flounder.
Games.
You trusted us.
PerfectlyPickGames.com. Use
If
code
you can name
Mojo
that
checkout.
if you name that Flounder's quote, let us know at thecallguyspodcast at gmail.com.
How many
Okay.
times can I mess that up?
Oh,
Probably too many. I probably will again. It's okay. But okay, back to what I was saying about
yeah, man.
this movie and Logan. Thanks for reminding me that this movie is such a good movie. So, yeah, Without a Paddle, 2004, directed by Stephen Brill. This is Rewatchable Movies Part 6. Colton,
What up?
how many times have you seen this movie?
in preparation for this episode, I've watched it twice.
Nice.
Um,
Proud of you.
outside of that, I've probably have watched it twice.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, it's not. It's just I don't know, man. It's just a typical early 2000s movie, man. Um,
Dang, he's already dogging on the actual fact that this would be a rewatchable movie. Holton, listen,
yeah.
listen, listen.
Help me out,
Oh,
brother.
I'm about to help you out. And not only does this movie have a decent runtime, hour and 35 minutes, so it's not too long,
Hmm.
not too short.
It's a good time.
It's a great amount of time to sit down and watch a movie, but this movie has as the main three actors one of the best buddy casts that really to me about any movie could have. And that is
You
Matthew
mean better
Lillard.
than Sahara?
Matthew Lillard, Dax Shepard, Seth Green. Absolutely phenomenal. Almost like they're actual brothers when you're watching this movie. Like they just have that connection and their the arguments and the way that they act around each other and just all that stuff is just so fun to watch. Um, also stars Ethan Suplee, Burt Reynolds, and a ton of other actors and actresses. A lot of small name actresses and actors that I mean, even going through and looking through the cast, I was like, this person's done like nothing. But there were also some faces, when I'll get to this later, but there were some faces that I was like, I know that. Why do I know that face? And I've seen this movie probably 30 times. Watched a ton as a kid. So yeah.
Right on.
All right. All right. So give me your initial thoughts on this rewatch. Your second rewatch of
Yeah.
preparation.
Um, there's some it I don't know, man. It's got a couple good one-liners.
Couple.
Yeah, a couple. A couple.
Okay.
This is my favorite. I think one of my favorite ones is this Billy's funeral?
Is that the corpse of Billy Newman? Mom, where'd you guys park?
Where'd you guys park? Yes.
So good. Like I said, there's the reactions here.
Oh, oh my gosh. But I mean, yeah, it's just a typical 2000 film, man. Early 2000 film. And it is what it is.
New call guys segment, typical 2000s.
Yeah.
We'll just go through movies that are typical 2000s movies, apparently. Okay, so
What buddies get together,
no,
estranged
no, no,
buddies
no, no, no,
get
no, 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 no.
together because of the loss of another friend. So they go on this adventure to find themselves all while everyone thinks that everybody had it figured out. It turns out no, they're hurting and they're struggling, so they need each other. And then they overcome whatever problem they've come across in this journey that they've come to find themselves in. And then they go back to their normal lives
And
where
it's better.
things were going poorly. Now they're going great.
Add in treasure hunting.
Add in
Even
DB
better.
Cooper.
Add in DB Cooper, add in the fact that they are going down a river and going through all these different aspects of nature, and that's kind of another way that the question of the pod kind of tied into this episode. But like, I mean,
And
Tim, go ahead.
and then you obviously have to add tree babes
Oh yeah,
because because because
yes. I have a segment I want to go through after I
oh
do my initial
Lord.
thoughts of memorable moments from this movie, and
I mean,
and
the only thing good about this movie are the one-liners.
so many moments in this movie that are okay. My initial thoughts, Colton.
Yeah,
This
what are
movie,
yours, brother?
this movie still holds up. Like I said, I've seen it at least 30 times. I watched it. I laughed at the probably the same spots I laugh every time I watch this movie. It's full of those laughs. It's got a ton of stupidity, which I love in a movie. It's
Oh
just dumb
yeah.
dumb humor. And on top of that, there's some action. It's not like big action. There's Ethan Suplee and his partner. I can't remember the guy's name, but the guys that have Leonard and Skinner, the dogs.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't know why you
you
feed them
know,
them fish heads.
the whole the whole thing with the pot farm and all that, and it's the action in that moment when they, you know, Tom stealing the pot and they're in the barn and then they chase him through the pot field,
Had nothing to do with anything.
but still absolutely hilarious. Um, but then like I mentioned, the relationship between the three of them is just it's great. It's absolutely great. So give
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you some memorable moments. I want you to give me your most memorable moment from the movie.
Okay.
Okay. So my first one is when they first get on the river, and we'll go through characters here in a little bit, but Dan looks over and he says, "Hey, look, a deer." And the
It looks or
deer starts
snarls at him.
growling at him. Absolutely hilarious. From the intro to this episode, I called you on fetal position for
Oh
3, and
yeah.
that is
Oh
because
yeah.
of the bear.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just get in the
Kid,
fetal position.
he
You
thinks it's
say
his
there's
cub.
one-liners, man. There's so many one-liners in this movie.
Uh,
Um, Shining the salmon, like
yes.
you
Figure
got,
eight. You got to use
yeah.
figure eight.
I I
A
bet you a
hundred
hundred
thousand
thousand
in my left
dollars.
nut.
Yeah, that you will not catch a salmon. You got to
He
figure eight.
throws away.
Now I got to change. Now I got to change up my pattern. It's so good. And then that's when the bear comes in, obviously. Everything with DB Cooper. I think that the whole build up in the pre credits, um,
Yeah.
it
As our
gives you the
kids.
whole backstory to why they are on this trip that oh Billy put
Billy.
together
Yeah.
with the map and all that stuff while he was out doing his thing. When they're down in the at the end when they find DB Cooper's treasure and "Do You Really Want to Hurt Me" comes back into play after they've heard it on the radio, and Dan's crawling through the escape tunnel to try to get out of the bunker, and that was just hilarious. He's singing it and he pops out. So, and then one of the funniest scenes in the movie is the cuddle in the cave. They're just trying to stay warm,
Oh my
and
gosh.
uh, and Jerry starts explaining that they saw the girls in the tree, Flower and Butterfly,
Yes.
and he starts explaining to Dan all the stuff and what they're doing right now during that thunderstorm, and Dax Shepard gets a surprise. So those are my memorable moments from this movie. Do you have one?
I mean, obviously the funeral scene, the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of I felt like a lot of the jokes were wrote for Shepard, Dak
Oh
Shepard,
yeah, yeah.
his character. I thought that was pretty good. And I was just thinking about like the four, if you take like the four main characters, Dak Shepard, Seth Green, Matthew Lillard, and even if you go with Billy, Anthony
Mm-hmm.
Starr, like those four guys have had careers from when this movie has come out to now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know. It's hard for me to imagine like who's had a harder like who's had the worst career of those four. Like
Oh,
it's hard for me to pick one because they were all I feel like Dak Shepard, probably because he's just
I
not doing that much
I would say
or
Dax probably has the lowest career out of the four of them.
yeah.
So let's go over that real quick. Like I said, the actors. I only listed. Well, I listed the main three:
Uh-huh.
Ethan Suplee, Burt Reynolds, and then another one which I want to get to. But let's Matthew Lillard, man, and we've talked about him quite a bit, and we actually
Yeah.
mentioned him early in this episode with Cam in his email. Um, but Scream was one of his first real big flicks that he did.
Yep.
Scooby Doo, Scooby Doo 2. He was the Shaggy. He did so many Shaggy voices in all the
Oh
different
yeah.
animated series. He was in She Is All That. He was in an episode of Leverage. He did some voices in Phineas and Ferb, Criminal Minds, Twin Peaks, and then one of his latest ventures, Five Nights at Freddy's. Um, Dude's been all over the place.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. He really has. I mean, just oh man, he's just had such a fantastic career. And you just
Perfect,
want him to do stuff.
perfect Shaggy, 100%.
Oh yeah.
Can't go wrong.
Oh yeah. I
Um,
mean, scrolling through his IMDb, you just scroll once and you're like, yeah, I've seen that. You just do a random scroll. Oh yeah, I've seen that too. Like
yeah,
just in so many things.
so much. It's long too. It's very, very long.
Oh yeah.
Um, Seth Green, one of my first introductions to Seth Green would be Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, and I mean that's really one of the first things that he did. Then you got Austin Powers, all those movies.
Yep.
Scooby Doo 2, which he was in with Matthew Lillard. The
Yep.
Italian Job, it, and then obviously Family Guy and Robot Chicken. Like those were two of his huge things that probably made him the most money that he's ever made in his life. But
Oh yeah.
those two being absolute, you know, just huge.
Yeah, I'm going through the IMDb right now just to see if there is because I remember okay, well, I guess that is before that is before the Italian Job. So the first movie I ever saw him in was Austin Powers
Okay.
as Scotty. But I remember him mostly from as Lyle from the Italian Job.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
Buffy was quite a bit before all that, right?
yeah, Buffy was in 97.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was a couple years before Austin Powers.
Yep.
Or
Yeah.
it's actually the same year because
Really?
International Man of Mystery came out in 97.
Gosh, he was so young at that point. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
absolutely crazy. But you're right. His big breaks have came from Family Guy and Robot Chicken,
Oh yeah.
which
Yeah.
you I absolutely love. I absolutely love in Family Guy where they poke fun at Robot Chicken.
Yeah.
I think that just goes to show how cool of a guy he could actually be.
But he's been there since the beginning, right? He's always voiced Chris.
Yeah, he's a day oneer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the only main character was that was switched was Meg.
Meg
That
to
was the
Mila
only
Kunis.
one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he's such a fun actor too. And um the other one was he also had a small stint on that 70s show.
oh
Um
okay.
so yeah, he played like I can't remember the kid's name, but he was like one of Eric's like enemies. And
Oh.
it was a really fun, back and forth between them. Dax Shepard, this was just for me going to the IMDb and picking movies I've seen. Employee of the Month,
Yep.
Zathura. He did the Chips remake,
Uh-huh.
The Judge, and The Comebacks. Those are really the only movies that I really kind of knew. Obviously, Zathura, The Judge, Play of the Month are three movies that I've seen a couple times. So
Yeah.
anything on his list that you see that sticks out, I'm not a huge Dax Shepard fan, but I love him in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like his big the TV show that he really stuck it out through was it was a Parenthood,
Hmm.
and he was also on the ranch.
Oh yeah, yeah. He was later seasons after Danny Masterson was let go. He ended up
Oh,
coming in as the cousin of Ashton Kutcher. I forgot about that. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. He actually did
Okay.
really good in that role too.
I could see him with that role with those surrounding characters.
Yeah.
But you're right. I mean, his first real big thing was definitely Without a Paddle.
Yep. Yep. And his wife is uh
Yeah, and that's kind of the cool thing about him is that it's not that he needs to be doing all of this. Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
I can't think of her name right now.
Oh my gosh, it's gonna bug me because I mean I know who it is. It's I can see her face.
Yeah, yeah, me too. Everybody yell at your radios because Colton's
Yeah,
googling
sorry,
right now.
Kristen Bell.
Yeah, there you go, Kristen Bell. I knew it. I just couldn't think of it. Couldn't think
Yeah,
of
and
it.
their marriage, they've been pretty open about their marriage and
Oh yeah,
struggles and
yeah,
really, really cool, really cool stuff there.
yeah. The other one, I follow this guy on Instagram, on TikTok, on a lot of things. The way that this guy has changed his life over the last like 6 years blows my mind, and that's Ethan Suplee. And most people know Ethan Suplee from Remember the Titans.
Mm-hmm.
The big lineman. He was also in
Louis.
Mallrats. Yep, he was also in Mallrats, The Butterfly Effect, Mr. Woodcock, and then maybe more people would even know him from My Name Is Earl, being Randy.
I was gonna
And
say, I feel like that would be the big one that most people would know him from.
yeah, you see him, and you know exactly who he is. But this man has been through just a huge life change in the last, I think, 5 to 6 years. But he's jacked. He's lost all of his weight. Well, not all of his weight, but lost all the fat pretty much. And dude looks jacked, yoked, huge. It's crazy. And I'm assuming he's enjoying life at the moment. But I follow him on Instagram. It's crazy to watch his transformation, or it was crazy to watch his transformation, I guess.
Yeah,
Um
that's you always like to hear those stories.
oh yeah, especially from an actor that was known for being the big guy, right? I mean, that was what he was known
Correct.
for. And but so yeah, it's kind of fun to. He was also in the ranch for a
Yep.
stint as a cop. He was a cop. That's right. The other one, we don't really have to talk about Burt Reynolds a lot, but Burt Reynolds is in it as DB Cooper's
Gosh.
buddy. That was
Yeah.
his accomplice, and ended up living in the woods.
You want to talk about Bart?
Oh,
Bart
Bart
the bear?
was Bart the bear. No,
Oh, how dare you?
I do want to talk about this one though.
What's that?
Christina Moore.
Christina
She played Butterfly.
Butterfly.
Yes.
Yep.
This is one of those, and this time around, I saw her and I was like, she looks so familiar. That '70s show, she played Lori in the last couple seasons when the main actress, I can't remember if she'd passed away at that point or she left the show because of some personal issues, but so she played the second Lori in that '70s show, and I saw her face in this time around watching it. I'm like, I know that face. Why do I know it? But yeah, so I didn't really have anything else for her. She hasn't really been in a lot. She's done a lot of like one episodes on shows, but
I was gonna say she's got a bunch of TV shows with a couple episodes here, most episodes there. 90210, Rules of
oh
Engagement,
yeah,
True
90210.
Blood. Um, yeah, 6 episodes on that 70 show.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah,
yeah. So
but
yeah, fun.
did we talk about Anthony Starr? Did I miss that?
I didn't do Anthony Starr. To be
That's
honest with
weird.
you, I didn't know a whole lot about him as an actor. If
I mean,
you go ahead.
he's Homelander from The Boys.
Oh, geez.
Yeah,
Wow, I would have never even.
he's in the movie for like every bit of like 30
That's
seconds.
true.
And
Wow,
it's like that
dude,
that
you
TV
said
show
that.
has freaking blown up
Yeah,
in so many ways than just one.
yeah. You say that, and now I see his face, and I see Homelander.
Correct. Correct.
Wow, dude, I didn't even. Sorry, Logan. I'm sure you're saying he's
Oh
like
yeah.
exactly what you're saying. But
Yeah, but I mean, like that's the hard thing. Like if you just pick the main four, like the four guys,
yeah,
the buddies, it's like, dude, who's doing what? Because I mean, he did Without a Paddle in '04. Then he's done a little bit of
Nothing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's got 107 episodes on fortune, outrageous fortune. I don't know.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't really recognize a lot of the other stuff that he's done.
Until
And
you
then
get to
you,
the boys.
yeah, then you get to the boys and you're like, yeah, yeah, Homelander.
I never
I
put
know
that
who that
together.
is.
I would have never put that together.
No, I
I didn't even look
agree.
him up because I was like, Anthony Starr, man, I don't know who that is. I just figured he was kind of a just a nobody because of which I mean I guess he kind of at the time was and really was until the boys. So.
Well, I mean, I think that's the nice thing I like about the boys is
Hmm.
that they didn't really take anybody like that famous.
Yeah, that's true.
And so I think that's just really cool. That could be a fun little trivia question.
Yeah, yeah, it would definitely. All right,
What you got?
let's do a couple small ones. Let's do favorite
Okay.
scene, favorite character.
Favorite scene, favorite character. For my favorite, ooh, how about we switch it up? I'm gonna go favorite character.
Okay.
Um, and I am going to go with Dax Shepard's character.
How?
Um, Mostly because I feel like he has the most growth because he kind of opens up because he lies through the whole movie essentially until
Constant.
like
Yeah.
yeah, about just who he was and this, that, and the other. And and you could tell like at the end of the movie when they get the money and he goes, okay, let's split it third, third, third. And Lillard's character's like, yeah, I don't need the money. So he gives it to, Seth Green's character and he goes, hey, let's split it 50-50. And Seth Green's character goes, hey, man, how about you just take the money? And he takes it. And the first words out of his mouth were, he's like, well, I remember in that bet you owed me a ball.
You know
And
me
he
left
tries to
nut.
get it out. Like I felt like he learned everything, but he didn't really lose what that friendship was about. But
Yeah,
I felt like he did learn that he needs to grow up and start again. So I really like that. That's probably why he was my favorite.
and then he becomes a Boy Scouts.
Oh, that Boy Scouts leader. I die laughing because he's just
What's
smoking a cigarette.
what's the downstairs?
Like I said, I mean, any Dax, any of his character, one liners. I can't pick just one man. But my favorite is in the very beginning at the funeral.
No, my favorite line from Dax Shepard in this film is Tom, you were a Boy Scout, right? No, but I had a brownie once. Gets me every time. Gets me every single time.
What about you, man? Favorite character or
Um,
favorite scene, or you can do favorite scene, favorite character.
man, I'm gonna. I'll also go favorite character, and I'm gonna go with Dan.
Okay. Okay.
Which would be Seth Green's character. I
Yep.
think that um, just overall, he was the. It, you're right on they overcame something that was bothering them in the beginning of the film, right? It was Jerry was his love life at home.
Yep.
Dan was his
Scared of
fears,
everything.
everything, his phobias, and then Tom was his compulsive lying.
Yes.
And but I think I mean I don't have any like big phobias or anything where I'm afraid to do something because of something, but I feel like Dan was almost relatable as like wanting to be the one that was trying to be reasonable.
Hmm.
Like we can't go do this because we have responsibilities, we have this, we have this, we have this. He just learned to kind of let go of all of the things that are holding him back from doing stuff that he would love to actually do. So, and I mean, part of that's him being a doctor, part of that's him being, he really does have responsibility at work. But I think I like his character because he almost has the reverse turnaround that the others did. They all became a little bit more responsible when he became a little less responsible. And overall, it just made, and he was hilarious through the whole movie too. Like his reactions to the moment with the bear, and like it's CGI at some points, and like the bear's carrying him off, and he goes, "Help!" And it looks
Oh
so
my,
fake, but
no, I think the worst, are we doing worst scenes?
yeah, go ahead. Let's do the
Okay,
worst
here it
scene.
is. It's the kayaking. When they're in the canoe and they're kayaking, the cuts. Matthew Lillard has his shirt off. He's either got his shirt on or he's got his tank top on. Seth Green either has his mosquito net on or he doesn't have it on. And it's just like, come on, this is so badly spliced. Like it's so bad. It,
I wonder.
it
I
drove
wonder.
me
I
insane.
wonder how much of that, because I'm wondering, with how that's set up and all the things that they did mess up in, just shot composition
Oh
and
yeah.
having the right props in the right spots. But I wonder how much of that actually was filmed with like stunt doubles and stuff going down an actual river.
I mean, I've done whitewater rafting.
Hmm.
Obviously not in a canoe. I would not want to. I couldn't
I don't
imagine
know
being
how
in a
anybody could
canoe
ever
and
do
doing
that. Yeah.
that. But the one thing that I kept watching is that they teach you in the 45 minutes they talk to you about whitewater rafting, especially where he went. It was like maybe 20 seconds of really bad rapids, like class 3 rapids,
Yeah.
maybe 20 seconds. And they're pretty much just teaching you how to survive for those 20 seconds. And of course, you wear helmets and life jackets, and they teach you is always keep paddling, always keep going, go over it. You want to go as fast as you can all the time. The guys in the back, the ones who are the guides, are there to steer. You just go. And that's kind of, I was watching, I was like, man, they're doing a lot of weird stuff. And it's an experience. It's an experience to go. I don't know if you've ever done. Have you ever done whitewater rafting?
I've never done it. No.
I think you'd really enjoy it.
I know I would. I know I would.
Um,
And you talking about that scene reminds me of when they first get to the river and the guy with the canoes there and
he breaks
like,
the glass on the canoe.
thanks for
It's
breaking that
a
where my kids play. No, when so I hear you were an instructor. What are you, class 4 or 5? He's like, why don't you put those two numbers together? It's like, you can lie to me all you want. Not me dying on that river.
Yep. Oh
Oh,
my
so good. I'm
gosh.
I'm trying to think of my least favorite scene. Honestly, I think anything with the the two redneck brothers. I
Oh
just
man.
I didn't really enjoy them, and I felt like the other guy, not Ethan Suplee, but I felt like the other one was just a bad actor.
Oh
Like he
yeah.
just like forced his lines a lot, and like it didn't feel as natural. And they had some funny moments, like, but just their bickering at each other was kind of, to
Yeah.
me, more so annoying. But
Yeah. Um, I would say like my least favorite character was the sheriff.
oh yeah,
Because it's obvious that you meet him in the beginning. He's the nastiest looking sheriff that you could have casted for this role. So you
hmm
automatically assume he's not a good dude. And then he just so happens to show up at the very end. And you're like, okay, yeah, he's with the bad guys because, you know, how else does he know where they're at? Like,
yeah.
so his
Jerry's
his character was super predictable, I
yeah.
thought.
I could go with him for least favorite. I could go with him or can't even think of the other guy's name. The
Dennis.
bigger, yeah, Dennis. Yeah, I just didn't like really either one of them. I think they were kind of just lame characters. But the one thing the final scene where the grenades and they're passing it, and Matthew Lillard has it and then gives his little speech there at the end, and then it's like, you guys are supposed to go. I was gonna sacrifice myself, and then he drops the grenade and then picks it up and throws it and knocks the tree down on top of him, which I just thought was a good ending to the. Not that a grenade would knock a whole tree down, I don't think, but I suppose
I
it
don't know
could.
if it would uproot the tree
Yeah, yeah.
and make it fall forward.
Yeah, you think the blast would cause it to go that way if it fell? But yeah, final thoughts. Anything else you want to talk about?
I mean, it's a fun movie.
It
I
is.
mean, go in with no expectations and wanting to learn nothing from it other than just bad editing. um, then this is the movie for you.
Honestly, Sarah had never seen this movie. I texted Colton and said I have some options for movies to talk about. I don't know if the options were great for you. I just were two that I thought of, and you said this one, and I was like, okay. So I had to get it on the Voodoo because my dad has the DVD, and I thought I had it here, but I didn't. But so I put it on the Voodoo. That way we could both watch it easier. And I turned it on, and Sarah started watching it, and she started laughing. I was like, I think she actually likes this movie. And what'd she tell you tonight when we were on the phone? She said something about any movie that puts a that's what she said joke in is funny.
Oh, it's
I
funny.
was like,
Yeah.
really? Really? No.
No, I think this movie is fine where it's at. Does not need to be remade. I think they
No,
got at least what a sequel out of this
they
with
did,
none of
and
the
it's so bad.
original people.
It's
It's
so bad. Don't
bad.
watch it. Don't watch that. If you want to torture yourself, watch it. If you want to have a good time, watch the first one. I
Good
agree with
take.
you. I agree
Good
with you.
take.
We never remake this movie. But my final thoughts on this movie is if you haven't seen it, you should watch it at least once. It's fun. It's funny. Good one-liners, great scenes, quotable.
Oh yeah.
You'll pull a quote. You'll pull at least one quote from this movie if you watch it. If not, way more than that.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, Without a Paddle, rewatchable series, episode 6, part 6. Good job. Good movie.
Good job, brother.
It's one of those that I will watch again. Now that it's on the Voodoo, I definitely am going to watch it more than I probably should. But
It's been a while since I put something on the Voodoo. I feel like I need to.
something on the Voodoo. The last thing you put on there was They Live.
Oh yeah.
Yep, that really wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, man, that's a classic movie. I don't know why nobody's watched that yet.
Go check out episode 10 something.
Oh, they live.
Oh, They Live. All right, Colton, I'm going to get us out of here. Everybody go check out Without a Paddle. Thank you for listening to Call Guys Podcast. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, anywhere you get your podcasts. You can also watch us on YouTube. Just search for the Call Guys Podcast or click the link in the description. Like and subscribe to our channel. If you like watching podcasts, it's a very good place to go to check out the Call Guys Podcast. You can also find us on Facebook, facebook.com/the Call Guys Pod, Instagram at the Call Guys, and TikTok at the Call Guys Podcast. Love for you to like and follow all of our pages. And, if we post, when we post, like our posts and share our posts and get us more listeners. Help us out, listeners, to get us more people coming to the podcast. We're excited to be going headstrong into year 3, and I'm definitely ready for what we have coming up. And we got a lot of stuff to watch this year, a lot of stuff to talk about and do, and got a lot of stuff planned, and I'm excited for all of it. So if you do have any recommendations, we do still have a few slots open for the year. So if you have any recommendations for what you want to hear us talk about, you can send us an email, thecallguyspodcast@gmail.com. If you have any film news that's interesting to you, you can also email us that. Question of the pod ideas, episode ideas, all that good stuff. And when you're done with us on Mondays, every other day of the week, you have an option from the Golden Mojo Entertainment Network of podcasts, whether that be the United States of Paranormal, the Golden Image Podcast, the Golden 80s Podcast, the United States. I already said the United States of Paranormal, but the United States of Paranormal again. The Union Cheese Fans, Murdnerds, old episodes of A Court of Books and Booze. Go check them all out. GoldenMojoENT.com. Merch stores are there. By this, actually today, April 1st, Two Stop Patreon.
Is up.
It is. So if you listen to Two Stop or you want to listen to a paranormal podcast, go check out the United States Paranormal. They just started their Patreon. Would love some support. So go check all the podcasts out, goldenmojoent.com. And I forgot about them, but do not forget to go check out Perfectly Picked Games. perfectlypickedgames.com. Use use code Golden Mojo at checkout for 20% off.
Nice.
That is just a mouthful of plugs. I should pre-record those.
You should.
No, I like having that interaction if there ever is one and during the plugs.
Oh my.
All right. Colton,
Love you, brother.
love you, brother. For all those out there in podcast land, see you next time.
Later.
Bye.
See ya.
Do you really wanna hurt me? Do you really wanna make me cry? So
The Call Guy.